Avengers: Infinity War was a major turning point for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The impact of Thanos' quest for ultimate omnipotent power has severely impacted the story world Marvel has been cultivating for the last 10 years, and it feels like the dawn of a new and potentially terrifying future for many of our beloved heroes and characters. So naturally, people are wondering what twists and turns we'll see in the next upcoming MCU films. Currently, Marvel Studios has 9 films in the pipeline between 2020 and 2022, with an additional 3 scheduled for next year, and 1 coming out this summer. So let's break them down. First up is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Paul Rudd returns as Scott Lang, and Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, aka Wasp. No surprise there, it was really hinted in the first film that her character would be taking up the mantle. The trailer recently came out and we got to see a nice surprise in the form of Ghost, who is traditionally a male villain for Iron Man. In this film, we have a female version of the character. Writers felt that Ghost's gender was irrelevant, and that it would be more interesting to cast a woman as the villain instead. Lawrence Fishburne is also in the movie, playing Bill Foster, aka the first Goliath. Whether or not he'll get big himself is still up in the air. But most importantly, fans are speculating when exactly this film will take place in correlation to Infinity War. Ant-Man's absence from the movie was justified with an explanation that he, along with Hawkeye, was under house arrest during the film's events. We're guessing that it'll happen concurrently with Infinity War, with perhaps an ending that involves at least one of the title characters turning to dust. Next up is Captain Marvel, set to release March 8th of 2019. Carol Danvers' story will take place in the 90s, which is pretty cool. In terms of tie-ins, the post-credit scene in Infinity War featured Nick Fury sending out a distress call via a space beeper that revealed the Captain Marvel logo, but that in itself raised some questions. Aside from people wondering how the character will now tie into this Thanos storyline. Why has Fury been carrying around this beeper for the last 20-something years? What makes him so sure that Captain Marvel hasn't been dusted either? And if he had access to this beeper prior to Infinity War, why has this been the first time in the past 10 years that he's used it? Sure, Thanos' threat is big enough to warrant needing some serious help, but what makes Captain Marvel specifically the woman for the job? Or is this all overthinking it? Regardless, the Captain Marvel film is supposed to flesh out the relationship between Danvers and Fury, and will also feature the likes of Mar-Vell, played by Jude Law, who's all about the franchises these days. Next up, Avengers 4 is set to come out May 3rd, 2019. Of course, everyone is expecting this film to help resolve the morbid ending that we got in Infinity War. So what do we know about it? Well, Thanos will return, which makes sense since Captain Marvel and likely Ant-Man and the Wasp won't take place until after the events of Infinity War. We know that Brie Larson has shot scenes with Josh Brolin, so Captain Marvel and Thanos come face to face. She's also been described to be the strongest hero in the MCU to date. Photos of Jeremy Renner have leaked with him wearing a new suit, which looks a whole lot like Clint Barton's Ronin threads. And other photos have leaked of Chris Evans in his old Cap uniform, potentially flashbacks from the Battle of New York. Contractually speaking, we have some hints as well. Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch, has 2 more Avengers films in her contract after Avengers 4. Benedict Cumberbatch has 3 more films in his contract after Phase 4 begins. Meanwhile, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and Robert Downey Jr.'s contracts are all up with Avengers 4. Although Hemsworth has stated that he would love to continue being a part of the franchise after how much he enjoyed Ragnarok. Evans, on the other hand, has said that he wants to retire from acting, and that Captain America will be his last role. So many questions as to what will happen. Next up is the Spider-Man sequel. Set to come out July 5th of 2019, the sequel to Homecoming will be the very first film of the MCU's Phase 4. Note that none of the titles of the Phase 4 films will be released until after the 4th Avengers film comes out. So for now, minus the sequels that have been confirmed, we're a bit in the dark. There isn't much that has come out information-wise, but we do know the dates, and we know that 2 of those 9 2020 to 2022 films are the Black Panther sequel and Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy. That much has been confirmed. But aside from that, we do have some dates. Films will be released in 2020 on May 1st, July 31st, and November 6th. Another 3 in 2021 will be released on May 7th, July 30th, and November 5th. And lastly, in 2022, 3 films will be released on February 18th, May 6th, and July 29th. Many people think one of those will be a sequel to Doctor Strange, considering his major role in Infinity War and how major of a role he played in the Infinity Gauntlet comic, which is largely what the film was adapted from. This past January, news leaked that a Black Widow film was also in development, with rumors that it may be one of those 2020 films. And let's not forget that 2020 marks Disney's official acquisition of the rights for X-Men and Fantastic Four that Fox had previously owned. So don't be surprised to see those properties make an appearance very soon in the MCU. Perhaps sooner than we think. These are the forces that may emerge now that Thanos has crippled the current force of superheroes in Infinity War. But who knows how the 4th film will go. Concerning Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, director James Gunn had initially stated that this will be the last time we see the current iteration of Guardians before a new set of Guardians debut, and that Volume 3 will serve as an epic conclusion. But after Infinity War, all of the Guardians were dusted except Rocket and Nebula. Speaking of Rocket, it's also been released that we'll get further insight on his horrible origin story. There's also been a few confirmed appearances of characters for the film, including Mantis and Aisha, the High Priestess of the Sovereign. The last one is a pretty big deal if you remember what happened in the post-credit scene after Volume 2. Aisha was plotting her revenge against the Guardians, and Adam Warlock's cocoon was revealed. Gunn has stated that we'll be seeing him at some point, but has also said that who knows how long it will take for him to bake in that cocoon. Warlock is a massive character involved in the Infinity Gauntlet miniseries in the comics, and his absence in the Infinity War storyline and leading up to it was rather notable. But Gunn has also stated that the character won't be in Avengers 4, so who really knows at this point what's gonna happen. So, what do you guys think all those other Marvel films will be? Let us know your theories in those comments below. If you guys dug this video, don't forget to spread the love by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. And you can check out all of our other great Infinity War videos on our channel by clicking that playlist that's currently up on your screen. In the meantime, thanks for watching everybody. I'll catch you all in the next one.